Yes, y'all. What's happening? What is happening? Welcome to AO. It is Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Welcome to AO, the show where you're not a victim, but you're a volunteer to invigorating conversations. Are you open? That's the question of the hour. Thank you guys for tuning in and being here with us again tonight. It is Wednesday night. We are back in the building at Black Cat Studios. We're so excited to be here. Shout out to all the Hottest Live family. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we love and appreciate you. Shout out to our Facebook Live family. In the building with us is the AO crew. What's happening, y'all? Say what's up to the people.
What's good?
What's going on, people? Welcome to Wednesday.
Welcome to Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. And the question is, are you open? As always, y'all open? Everybody open tonight?
By now, I hope you open.
Right. It's Wednesday. If you ain't open yet, throw the week away.
That's a fact.
Throw the whole week away.
Throw the whole week in the trash.
Throw the whole week away. Well, as y'all know, we talking about something I enjoy talking about tonight. So, you know, I'm open, honey. I came ready.
My God. Ready. We ended the show last week. It wasn't even 30 seconds. She said, fellas, I just want to tell y'all, we talking about sex next week.
Facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There was no conversation.
Right.
We are talking about sex.
It wasn't a question.
There was no question. No. We have to, you know, every now and then you got to throw a little bit of something in there. I like
That's a fact. Well, here's the thing. I definitely been not necessarily waiting for this conversation, but you know, with Nelly, you definitely gotta buckle up.
Buckle up.
That's a fact.
I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready for this.
All right.
Ready.
I know you are.
This.
You were ready last week.
Yeah, y'all was ready. I stays ready. I stays open. Stays open.
Here we go again. Right.
But anyway,
Miss 7-Eleven over here.
Pick it up.
Right. Listen, if you are interested in joining tonight's conversation, you can tune in. You can go to your Google App Store or your iTunes App Store, whatever your app store is on your cell phone, and download the Hottest Live app and tune into tonight's show. You can always also catch us on thehottestlive.com. You can also call us at 302-272-9772. Listen, if you call in and to be a part of this conversation tonight, we're going to give you a limit of 1 minute to get your point across.
Right. Say it.
1 minute.
Right.
All right. 302-272-9772. Or you could join us, of course, here live on the Facebook Live feed on R-U Open. Are you open?
So,
yeah, he's messing with stuff over there. But thank you guys for tuning in. We are excited tonight. We are going to be talking about sex with the lights on. Sex with the lights on.
I'm Teddy Pendergrass.
Right. Teddy just turn off the lights.
We are not turning them off.
No, we're turning them on tonight. Turn them on, turn it on, bring out the spotlights.
That's a fact.
Are we going to talk about intimacy and insecurities in the bedroom? How do we deal with all of that? We're going to talk about all of that tonight, and we definitely want to hear from you. So listen, hit us up on the Facebook Live feed. Call us at 302-272-9772, or you can hit us up on the Hottest Live app from your phones or your mobile devices, and you can tune into tonight's conversation. So what's happening, guys? How was your week? It's Wednesday.
Right. It's Wednesday, man.
That's it? It's Wednesday?
Wednesday. We in the mid section of the week. Okay. That's it.
The midsection.
Right.
Midsection of the week.
We made it. Guess who made it? You did.
You did. Yes,
you always say that.
I like it, though.
It's a fact.
I like it.
I'm definitely here.
I definitely like it. Guess who made it? You did.
Right.
You made it.
This week, been an interesting week for me. Had a lot of challenges this week. Nothing heavy. Just a lot of processing, a lot of challenges and certain things. But I'm in a better space today.
That's good.
Right. So this is the outlet, right? So
right.
I couldn't wait to get to the show. So I'm gonna let a little bit off today.
Come on, let it off. Why we here?
Don't troll me. Jarrell is ready to troll me. He does this every week.
We didn't have this conversation in the car.
That's a fact. Jarrell's goal is to get me charged up to the point where I black out on the show. I guess, that's what he wants.
That's extreme.
But anyway, tonight might be the night.
Oh, Lord.
All right? Had nothing to do with the topic.
Oh, okay, go
You know what I
ahead.
mean? But anyway, we here. Welcome to Wednesday, y'all.
Welcome. Shout out to Beatrice. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ivy Waters, Ashley Burton, thank you for tuning in. Deidre Jones, Giselle Taylor, thank you for tuning in. Listen, if you're on the live feed with us, drop a thumbs up, a hi. Let us know you there. Say something. Say what's up. Say good afternoon. Say happy hump day.
Yeah.
Let me know you there. Let us
Fingers. Like
Talk
that.
to me, man.
Like
my
that.
whole
Holla at
voice.
us.
My whole
Holla at
voice.
us. You know what I mean?
Oh
Drop a hello. Let us know where you tuning in from, so we can shout out your city, your state, wherever you calling from.
Absolutely. And if you ever have any questions that you want to submit to us, feel free to send us the messages or hit us at areyouopen18@gmail.com.
There it is.
For all inquiries.
Hey,
Yeah, most people
John.
just run
What's
up
happening,
on you.
John?
Hey, Corey, so you talk about this next week. Talk to you later.
Exactly.
I'm not from a place where you just run up on people.
Exactly.
That's what usually happens.
John Richardson, shout out to you. Thank you for saying what's up to y'all.
What's up, John?
All right, so we're going to get into tonight's segments. We're going to go ahead and start moving into. I can't wait. I wanted to.
I can't wait to figure out which part's going to get him charged up. I didn't see that coming. I didn't know.
Anyway, moving on.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna start with our getting to know you. Getting to know you. Our getting to know you questions. Let's see. What do we have on the chopping block today?
Chopping block.
All right. So let's go here with Mr. Corey first.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
You sucker.
If you could travel, would you go to the past or the future?
Ooh, that's a good one. If I could travel, would I go to the past or the
why?
future? I'm going to the future.
Going to the future? Why are you going to the future?
I'm just leave the past in the past. I just want to see what the future's all about. And like Gerald always says, I like to prepare, so maybe that's my thing.
He can pack first.
Yeah. Just make sure it's a smooth landing for me. Now, if I go to the future,
Oh gosh.
do I get it?
Here I go. Go ahead.
No. This is usually Jarrell's thing.
Right.
If I go to the future, am I able to redirect anything that changes the future? I just gotta let it be what it is.
Yes.
He just gets to enjoy the spoils of
It's
the
good to
future.
see what the future is, and that's just about it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. Then I can just go back to my regular self.
Just got to choose one. You
No.
can travel.
So I'm saying, so I go to the future,
And then you come
I
back
see it, then I come back to 2018, and then I'm just
knowing what he knows.
knowing
from
what
the
I know.
future.
The question didn't give me all that much detail.
Well, I'm giving it to you.
No. If you could travel today, would you go back to the past or the future?
I'm going to the future,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna come back to 2018 and get ready for my
There
future.
you go.
That's a fact, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He gonna
How
come
far
back.
in the future can I go?
We're not going into the.
He trying to figure because he gonna go into tomorrow and get the lottery numbers and come back.
Come
Come
back.
on now. We all in.
Shout out to Aikisha Presley, Bernard Griffith. Thank you for tuning in. Isabel Duran, thank you for tuning in. Arizona's in the building. The question is, if you could travel, where would you go, to the past or the future?
My first inclination was like, I would go to the future. I got kids. I kind of want to see that part. But then I'm like, I kind of want to see that part. I don't want to see it ahead of time.
Right.
Like I don't want to spoil that. I think, and then to me, I don't know if I'm afraid of the future, but I don't know if I want to see some of the things. As like, it could be really dark. Like, what if I gotta go see that and then come back like, dang, all right, that was rough.
Right. Well,
What are we gonna do? Time to move.
Right.
Like I don't know. But I probably would go to the past, but it'd be very specific. Like I need to go to Harlem Renaissance. You know what I mean? Go to the Cotton Club, something like that. Like I want to see Langston perform live, but I want to see a place.
was
Where,
such
I want
a
to be in a
deep
safe
dude.
place.
I love
I want
it.
to enjoy it. I want to be on
love it.
vacation.
Langston Hughes.
I love
before.
it.
I do spoken word. What am I doing?
I hear you. But never took that. Good job.
I like that.
Go ahead, brother.
I do spoken word. Like, that's one of my inspiration.
100%.
Stupid.
That's it.
What would I do?
What would you do, Nelly?
What
You're
happened
gonna
to
do
the
some
past?
freaky.
I'm not gonna do nothing freaky.
That's a fact.
I'm not.
When hoverboards are real.
I probably want to see what the future is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
what's
wanna
up.
see. Yeah. Definitely.
But I think the thing is, man, like you get to the future, do you bring what you know back or you erase everything?
But see, I think the thing about it is you don't know how you're gonna get to what you're seeing. You don't know what you're gonna have to go through to get there. And I think that's the whole mysterious part of this. Like, even though you see the future, I'm gonna be a millionaire. That's
Yeah,
cool.
you know the storyline.
But you don't know the storyline behind that.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of gonna be like.
I got you. That's
That's
cool.
where you mess it up. All right, the next question. If you could master one skill, no, that's not the one I want to ask you. Hold on. Okay. Would you rather be a jack of all trades or a master of one?
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades. I think. But why, Corey? Why would you want? Why would that be you?
I just want to be good in everything I do. Period. That's it.
Yeah, I think there's more use. I think there's more value to me in being a jack of all trades. To me, now, if you're a master of one, then don't get. If that's your choice, you can kind of be exclusive in that space. Like you can create value in that space in a great way. But for me, I don't want to be pigeonholed. I want to be able to do different things and excel in different areas. That's how you know you're great, right? Like in my mind, like you can lose it all, get it all back in a couple of different ways. So I think that would probably be where I would go.
With the master of one?
No,
jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
I agree with the both of y'all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I want to master everything that I do, just like you said.
Absolutely.
Everything I put my hands to, I want to be good at.
You don't want to be a vegetable, as my boy Tax said.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a vegetable? You don't got to roll your eyes. Relax. Respect. Respect Tax.
Start off the show. Werner, thank you guys.
You put an ass in cellmate to respect them.
Here we go. Here we go.
You did that. You did that. That was
All right.
fine. I'm chilling.
All right,
I don't want no problems. You're gonna have people at my
Respect the lady in the room.
That was my two questions for getting to know you for tonight.
Those are good questions.
Was good?
Really
Okay.
thought provoking. You stuck me on the future of the past, but definitely
Good.
the future.
Cool. All
What's
right.
up?
So we're moving on to the next part of the show.
She couldn't wait. Fast forward.
No, not that part. Not that part. See,
I think you
the
can wait.
AOPOV.
I'm just waiting for you, Nelly. I'm ready to duke it up. Let's go.
So, the AOPOV. What's the world talking about? I think we should talk about that whole Jay-Z situation with Trump.
Jay-Z for president,
Nah.
2020.
Negative.
Jay-Z said that Trump became a superbug after they took Donald Sterling's team and didn't actually truly fix the issue, but instead let it grow and to the magnitude of where it's at. Then, of course, Trump just responded with talking about how he fixed unemployment for black people. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what he says.
He didn't.
But yeah. So, was Jay-Z right or wrong? What you think?
About him being a superbug or the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was absolutely correct. I think he was absolutely correct. I think to his point, when the whole Donald Sterling thing came out and the racial thing came out, we didn't fix anything. We took his team, and to his point, all the racists went into hiding. Right? Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with the exposure, what that does, and taking your team away, and now you lost money. So to his point, we should have brought him in, and should have been some type of penalty, I'm sure. But have a conversation around where does that come from, right? The whole thing with racism and the whole thing with some of these things that people have these dysfunctions about is really just having a conversation. We all strive to be the same. We all want the same things out of life, honestly. And conversation will change some of that. I remember, not to make a long story longer, I remember when the whole Black Lives Matter movement came out, and my brother called. He was charged up, pissed. Said, Corbin, let me ask you a question. I was in the gym and I asked this white lady, I said, you know what the Black Lives Matter movement means? And I was like, what did she say? She didn't know. I said, did you expect her to know? I said, the challenge for you is not to get upset. That's the fact that she didn't know. Educate her on what it means. If you let her walk away with not understanding what it is, then what did you fix? Right? So that's my thing. You got to have a conversation and bring people to the table and understand and course correct them sometimes. Now, after they get course corrected and they choose to walk away and still be ignorant, it's out of your hands. But if you have the opportunity to change somebody's perception of what that looks like, I think you should take it.
But how do you keep an owner after who's going to play for him? 90% of the players are black in the NBA. So it gets really sketchy on how you move with that. And I don't know if I believe that if that doesn't happen, you don't have a Trump. Because we had Obama for 8. And I think that was a catalyst. I think that was a part of creating the superbug, right? Like when you have that for so long, it does flip things, right? It changes the whole perception of it. And I think that fed largely into, not all of it. There was a whole bunch of reasons why, we have Trump as Trump. You know what I mean? But I think that, I don't know if I look at Donald Sterling's case that heavy. Just because, again, we had Obama for 8, and I think that's a lot heavier.
No, it is. But I think to the point of the Donald Sterling thing is that who says we shouldn't call Trump to the table? As Charlamagne say, call him to the front of the congregation. We need to have a word with you. Right? So I think that Trump needs to be called to the carpet also. Why is it okay?
He doesn't care.
He really
Here's the thing,
doesn't.
but
Again, Jay-Z called him to the carpet. He called him a superbug.
Right.
And interestingly enough to me, right, when he responded to Jay-Z, whereas to me, Trump can be a tad bit disrespectful.
Oh, Tad did a whole lot.
He was very careful
He was
on how
very
we
careful how he addressed
on how he addressed Hov. He was very careful. He did talk about he lied about unemployment for Black Americans, which wasn't the point.
Right.
So he ain't even addressed it. Jay called him a superbug. No matter how you slice it, that's what he, like a roach, large one. Okay, no matter how
The
you
ones that
slice it.
fly.
So when I look at that and I'm like, okay, but Jay's in your top percenter club, right? The money moves a little different. You got to work with him. You got to. So I think in that space, I think that's where he talks about unemployment in that world. I don't think that he was really addressing Jay's comment on, and I don't think that he has to fold, right? He gains the attention just by addressing Jay. He gains the attention by addressing a lot of people the way that he does, or by making sensational, shock-driven comments, right? Since that's how he moves, that's what will always keep the superbug growing, right? He's fed by the attention, and it works.
Right. I get it. Nelly,
Your thoughts?
I agree with everything y'all told me. I do. I mean, I agree with everything y'all said.
you don't like talking about him?
No, I can't.
Right.
Yeah, no words.
45.
Like she's not trying to fill her
No, I don't
political
even
connection.
call him by his name. He gets no respect from me. He's 45. He's just disgusting to me. I don't even want to invest my father.
I hear you.
No, I agree though. I agree with everything you're saying. Is he a superbug? Hey, yeah, he is. He's disrespectful. I have no rap for that.
I just don't understand how today we're tolerating this. It's such on a large scale. Like
Because people
It's
voted
America.
for it.
unbelievable.
People
I
voted
mean,
for it.
I'm past the point that we voted for him.
Past that.
It's there. He's in the office.
But-
But do we not hold him accountable for the things that he's doing, the things that he's saying, and the people that he's offending? And
No,
now that he's in office, and the answer is
that's the
question
world
is
we
why.
live in, though.
Crazy.
Well, to be clear,
Unbelievable.
it's a slow process, right? Once you're in, it's a whole lot. It takes you a whole lot longer to not get out, right? So in that space, I mean, they're doing the probes. They're trying. I don't want to say they're trying to get him, or even to say that they trying hard enough. But he's already in. So now he got powers that be. He put his people in. First thing he did was change the ethics committee. Think about that. It's the first thing he did was like, all right, we're going to move around some of these ethics, lower that down. Y'all not judging me that way, okay? And now, once we start removing that judgment, or anybody can preside over the way his team moves, it leaves him with a lot of free reign. So now the process of getting him up out of there is going to be a lot slower. Now they're trying to rush an investigation, trying to look into some of the things he's moving, but it's hard.
Right.
slow process for the show.
Right. And I guess he ain't got nothing but time.
And he done.
I hear you.
Right. As long as we survive.
No to this Jay-Z for president. I disagree.
No.
Relax.
Why
For what?
not? You
Like,
don't want
why would we
Jay-Z
make
for
Hov president?
Same reason why they gonna make Oprah president.
They're not the same person.
Okay, Oprah for president, but not Hov? This is where we're going? I'm curious.
I didn't necessarily say Oprah neither.
I'm asking you.
Would I pick one? One or the other?
Would you pick either?
I'm going with Oprah.
Oprah.
Would you
I
pick-
thought I had to pick.
No, would you pick either?
Oprah.
No, but you wouldn't vote for either.
No.
Why not?
I just think that we have to get out of this idea that anybody can be president. of the
But
United
it's the
States.
truth. Anytime they put that clown in there
Mhm.
and allow him to run the United States the way he's been running the United States, why not put Oprah in there?
Yeah, but we can't throw stuff at the wall, continue to throw stuff at the wall and hope it stick just because now we're going to put our person in there. Now we want Oprah. What is Oprah?
She's made wise decisions. She got schools in Africa.
Great. A lot of rappers have schools in Africa.
Trump got the Trump Towers.
But he ain't got
I just
school in
don't think we should
Africa.
continue to throw stuff at
Okay.
the wall and try to make it stick. And again, I think it's excellent that she would be able to even run at the end of the day, right? But I don't think we should continue to. I mean, that's the thing now. So Trump is in, so anybody can run. They're talking about The Rock, for president.
No, I
Kanye
wouldn't
that
do
thought he was
that.
going to
No.
run for president.
No, I would
Oprah,
definitely say
Michelle
somebody
Obama.
with some.
It-
Now,
it just
Michelle
continues to
Obama, I
go.
would vote for.
Yeah.
Not just because she's Barack's wife, but she has more experience in this.
Does she?
She running the
More than Hillary?
No,
Yeah, but
I
Hillary's probably
definitely
not going to
wouldn't.
run again.
You never know.
Nah, that last loss was bad.
It was a bad loss. It was a bad loss.
That was LeBron
Maybe Bernie will
3-1,
run again.
4-1.
Think
You
Bernie's
know,
running again?
Bernie, Bernie's just getting up there in age.
He's like 100.
Yeah,
Right.
100 plus.
Yeah.
All right, enough of the politics. Here we go. It was great. I don't want to give Trump any more of our time. Forget him. Start to hope for president 2020.
Ooh.
Do this.
Ooh. Ovi.
Oh, all right, we're gonna get into today's topic.
President Carter.
We are talking about
Again.
sex with the lights on, intimacy and insecurities in the bedroom. Intimacy and insecurity in the bedroom. All right, let me start with this. Where do y'all think all of this comes from? Where does this insecurity in the bedroom come from? Why do we have insecurities in the bedroom? Because you would think we're in the bedroom, we're ready to get it on, we're ready to have sex.
Right.
Where does insecurity come into this whole situation? Where does it come from?
Perception.
Okay.
History. And to your point, performance anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
What you've been taught that sexual perfection is. You feel like you have to achieve that. Or maybe potentially the conversation she's having around sex. The conversation you've had around sex. Or you should just get to the point where you think she's just so bad, you just want to blow her back out.
Oh, so bad, good.
Yeah, she's so good. Like,
okay.
she looks a certain type of way, and I have to perform. So maybe that's the performance anxiety that you were speaking about. But I don't, sex is a touchy thing on both sides. Relax.
I think, Louis, I agree with your points, but I think that a lot of sexual insecurities just comes from people or general insecurities. Right. So like if you're insecure with your body, well, you're going to be insecure sexually. Right. Those two things can coincide. I think it can, the goal ahead of you or what you think is going to be, the anticipation sometimes can be a bigger thought in your head than what the reality of it is. Right. Especially if you're doing it in a space that's out of your comfort zone. Right. And I don't mean a specific location. I'm not talking about you was in Times Square. I'm just saying you're in a position where like, okay, it might be new for you with this person. You're just still trying to fill it out, or you're not aware of yourself sexually. Right. So if you're not comfortable in your own sexual skin, it's not going to work. And I don't want to say not going to work, but it's your insecurities will, I guess, be in your head at the time.
Yeah, I guess. Nelly, what you think?
Lights on. Absolutely. I want to read this real quick and I'm going to answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agree with this here. One of our followers stated, not only have we been screwed over by pornography and the media, but we've also fallen victim to the tremendous lie that sex is entirely for boy pleasure. I'm a lesbian and I'm still messed up from that lie. Even though I exclusively sleep with women, I still feel like my partner's orgasm is more important than mine. Because as a woman, I've been groomed to please everyone. We've been told that boys' needs should be met first.
Now, is that from someone who's watching the show?
Mm-hmm.
Tell her I said, big up to her.
Whatever.
I appreciate her comment.
Fool.
That's a fact. No, that ass. I'm so serious.
Boo.
Here's the thing. She's right. I think with the conversation we was having in the car, you should want to be a pleaser of your partner.
Mm-hmm.
If we both trying to get to that finish line for you, my goal is to make you have an amazing experience. That's the goal. I ain't even worried about me. If you're worried about, and if your goal is to make me have an amazing experience, we gonna have a good time.
So y'all both can have an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
I've never heard of that though. That the tremendous lie that sex is entirely for boy pleasure.
Well,
I've never heard that.
I think
I
that, I to be clear, it's not something that I've heard stated.
Right.
But if you look at the perception of how a lot of things are, especially the older you get back in the time, the more it falls deeper into those type of stereotypical relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's what does it that way. But I think that fun is super underrated in sex. So I don't think that people understand that if you're doing it, you should be trying to have a good time, but instead you get all in your head about the thought of it, that you're not even having fun with your partner, right? So,
and it's funny because me and somebody else was talking, and we were talking about oral sex and foreplay, and how people think that foreplay is just for the beginning portion of sex, just to get you riled up in order to have sex. But people don't understand that foreplay doesn't stop throughout your whole session.
I don't know.
The foreplay has to continue.
Absolutely not. It doesn't stop.
The cunnilingus and
the cunnilingus. Don't say that shit again.
You didn't even finish the word. She said phalanges.
Right.
Those are fingers, by the way. I just want you to know she says those are fingers. The phalanges.
Come on, man.
Wait, what's that the word again?
Fellatio.
Fellatio. Thank you. Excuse me. Fellatio. Just correct me. They got the.
Oh, that's what you were trying to say?
Fellatio.
Come on, son.
Phalanges.
I was totally on a different word.
No,
Damn.
fellatio. All right, so the sucking and dick and the eating coochie.
There you go. Big up to Nelly.
Using
Regular-
big girl language.
That's what it's talking about.
Put down the dictionary, please.
It doesn't end after the beginning of sex.
Right.
It continues on. But because of like what she said in here, what porn and media has taught us, like it's like we try to live up to a standard
Right.
when we're in the bedroom, and we miss out on most important parts besides climaxing,
Yeah.
which is the fun. The foreplay is a whole bunch of fun.
Absolutely.
Right.
I listened to this podcast the other day, and she gave this analogy. She said, "Cool is the emotional straitjacket."
Who is the emotional straitjacket?
So if I'm going into sex trying to be cool, looking this way, and I'm so worried about how I look and how I perform, and I just don't just relax and put my insecurities down, I'm in an emotional straitjacket.
Mhm.
Like I'm holding myself to a standard that it really isn't there.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
trying to be so cool, right? And that's kind of spreads out through life. But I don't believe that insecurity should show up in sex if you can help it. They do. But my goal is to strip you of all of that.
So, and we talked about this when we were coming up to the studio, and I said the question for a question was posed. It said, if your dick doesn't worry about what I look like, my body size or my body shape,
Right.
why do you worry about that outside of the bedroom?
Because I'm not worried about it at all.
And maybe Corey and Jarrell are not, but we know that there are men that, because they say pussy has no face.
Bullshit.
You know how they say that? So they'll smash you,
Mhm.
but they won't want to be with you or spend time with you because you're not their type.
Okay, so I think that those are two separate,
They are. Thank you,
Conversations.
Jarrell. My man.
like they're
But it forms insecurities in women.
Nelly always trying to kick the men
What
off.
you
Like,
mean? No, I'm just saying I'm a woman, so I can only speak from
I hear you.
female
Keep it moving.
standpoint.
but now if you're saying that
Come on,
that's some of the things that can create an insecurity.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. I don't know.
That's on you.
like
talking about sex.
esteem of yourself.
Right.
But I think that for the fact of for the men who will say something about a woman about how they look or about how they that part when the lights are on and when they're not having sex, but you was all cool with it. That when you are engaging, that's what gets in the way. Like either you love her or you want to be with her, or that's what you want, or you don't, but you can't belittle your mate. You know what I mean? If you like, that part is never going to bode well, and it's definitely going to create serious insecurities, if nothing else, in your next sexual function. Okay, like how do you expect that to not be in her head next time that y'all engage?
And here's the thing.
I think that,
So more to your point, is the guy communicating that to you? How do you know that he feels that way about you outside of the bedroom?
But I'm just saying in general, because you have, and I know I've experienced it back in the day, and I actually told one of my girlfriends this. I
Right.
said when I was 45 pounds heavier, the dudes was
Congratulations.
lined up. Thank you.
Right.
The dudes was lined up. I couldn't get them off me. Now that I done lost the weight, feeling good, looking good, like where they at, nobody, they MIA.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was like, they was like down low in love with big girls, but they would never deal with me outside of the bedroom. So I witnessed that myself. But I'm saying back in college and stuff, I know in college I didn't care. So I was one of them like, yo, what's up? You trying to smash? All right,
Right.
cool, let's do this and roll. And that was just it. But I know that does happen where dudes will deal with you when it comes to the bedroom and have sex with you, but don't want to deal with you outside because you're not quote unquote their type. Or I'm good enough. I always said this to me and my girlfriend was talking. Good enough to be the best friend, but never the one.
Hold on.
Is that
Are we going outside of the topic?
no?
because that's a separate conversation.
That's a
Is
separate
it?
conversation.
No, because
Hell yeah.
all of that creates insecurities. What I'm saying.
No.
What
But
do you
the
mean?
why,
No, it does.
put it like this:
It does.
does it
I
create
get you.
insecurities? Yes, but the why is
Right.
is a whole topic in itself.
Yes. That's a
If that makes
totally different
What
topic.
you mean?
We talk about sex. And
Yeah,
I know
but-
you know this word. No, so I think so. Here's the thing. I think that could possibly lead to insecurity, and it goes to the bedroom because if you don't feel secure in the relationship
Exactly.
that you're in,
Right.
is it going to create a sexual insecurity? Yes.
In the bedroom, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I believe you had. Here's the thing. solves to communication. You need to have better communication to get all of that out. And if you're not willing to have that conversation and address him for making you feel that way, then you don't get to complain about it after we done had sex 45 times. Now it's the self-esteem issue on you. Don't put that shit on me.
Okay.
Right? So address me and hold me accountable for how I make you feel before we get to the bedroom.
Right.
Once I get to the bedroom, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Okay. So it doesn't count after the bedroom.
No, it counts.
Okay.
But make it count before we get to the bedroom.
Well, what if she doesn't do it before the bedroom?
Then that's your problem.
Oh,
What you
okay.
talking about? Like, don't see.
I'm just asking.
Here we go.
What
Here we
you
go.
mean?
Don't what, Corey?
Come on.
Go what? Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Women got to stop that shit. Here's the thing. Stop holding
All men.
all men, or men, period, accountable for things that you don't address. Right? So here's the thing. You may address it with me, but then you'll go sleep with this one, and this one because you don't hold him to the same standard that you hold me to.
Right.
Get the hell out of there. That's you got to deal with that.
Right.
And let's go have that conversation in the car. Let's have the conversation at dinner. When you was texting me all day, you never said anything about that. So now that we had sex, and now that we're laying there, now you want to cry me a river? Stop playing with me.
You're so insecure.
Fuck
I mean,
outta
that's okay. You're so insensitive.
I'm not insensitive at all. I just hold you accountable.
No, I
Get
agree.
outta here.
I do agree.
Because I'm gonna say it though.
I do agree though, because I know. I mean, and I know some women do have. They lead with what they know or what they're most secure, which is their pussy. That's what they lead
They
with.
do what? They
They
with
lead with that
Yeah.
because they don't know how to communicate their feelings. They don't know how to address their self-esteem
Absolutely.
issues. So that is, and I agree with you 1,000%. You
Right.
have to address it.
And at the end of the day, you go believe with your pussy
Right.
by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to say shout out to Maisha. She says the key is communication, and insecurity should never show during sex.
Right.
Shout out to Mika Johnson.
Yeah. Shout them out.
She says
Everybody.
communication is definitely key. My partner is going to get all these rolls and lumps and bumps, and
Right.
because they make me feel secure outside the bed, they gonna get this good loving inside the bed.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's a fact.
Shout out to Courtney Jackson. Poor communication leads to insecurities. If you leave
Absolutely.
people to guess where they stand, or if they are or if they are adequate, they will often assume the worst. Facts. Denise says, "Do you think males or females are more insecure about sex?"
Females or males?
Yeah. What do y'all think? Males or females? Who's more insecure about sex?
I think we're both insecure equally, but differently.
But I think, like you said, equally, but we express it differently.
Absolutely.
I think we express it differently.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tanisha. Hey, Nish. What's happening, baby? Shout out to JF Clay. Thank you for tuning in, love. I agree. I think we just express it differently. But yeah, I do think both men and women are insecure or have some level of insecurity in the bedroom.
I think people just have insecurities, and I think depending on who they are, it can always be an issue, or and sex can clearly be one of them.
Right. I think with what you were talking about earlier, we were talking about the sexual performance anxiety. I think and just to give you guys a brief definition of what it is, it's when people who have insecurities about their sexual abilities, body type, and those who care too much about how proficient they are in bed. So, I mean, is that something everybody battles with?
Yeah.
Like, especially the first time. We all come, and I don't know if all women can attest to this. I feel like women have egos too.
Absolutely.
I really do feel like
Everybody. Well, most people have ego.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to the bedroom, I remember dealing with this one guy some years ago. He kept saying his first impression is his last impression, even in the bedroom.
Right.
And okay, I agree with that, but I think me and Eli had a conversation way before that. You can't give a person too much
The fuck if
the
you
first
can.
time.
No, you can.
Okay, it's not going to turn them off.
Why would that turn them on? So let me just correct what I think you're saying. You can't go all in the first time you have sex. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Why
like
not?
you should not. Well, you can go in when you have sex, but you can't give them all of you, like everything. Like, for instance, okay, let's go here. My first time getting with you, we about to get it in. We haven't dated for a long period of time, but we both agree as adults that we want to have sex.
Right.
Before we have sex, we're communicating. I'm telling you, like, yo, I like to eat your butt. I like to go like all the way in. Like,
Right.
This is our first time.
Right.
That might turn some people off. Like, dang, shorty, like.
Yeah. So do we need to talk about it, or can I just perform when I get to the bedroom? Is it the same thing?
Especially for a male, I think that's something that needs to be talked about.
Why?
If I like to eat your butt,
Right.
And we've never
don't like
discussed
that.
that. And you may be very like,
So you're not just gonna jump
when it comes to your butt, you
You're
ain't
just not
open.
gonna jump behind me.
I don't want to come behind you and you punch me dead in my face.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You know,
Yeah,
but I think something like that needs to be discussed.
I understand. I guess initially when you said it, I just don't believe in half performing if you can help it. I think that to his point, I guess your first performance or your last performance is that's it, right? So I mean, that's bullshit. Here's the thing: why am I being like? I've heard people say like I don't kiss during sex if it's not that right person.
Right.
I was just inside of you. What are you talking about? You don't want to kiss me. It makes it too intimate. Your vagina made it intimate. What are you talking about?
But okay, now, but to her point, you know, in that theory, which is hilarious to me because it's like save some in the tank for later. I'm gonna give it all to him now.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the theory.
That's right. That's
such
exactly
a way to
it.
circumvent insecurities. Like
Right.
it's like, listen. So here's my theory, right? I know I'm only gonna get a 50 if you score me.
Right.
So maybe if the first time I take the test, I only shoot for a 10. The second time when I get that 50, yeah, I really improved there. How about
It's like some guys I do know before their
Crazy.
first sexual experience with a female, they go and they jerk off first. So they can get rid of that first nut.
Yeah.
That way they can last longer because in their mind,
Right.
that's the insecurity. Like I got to make sure I last. So, I mean, it happens.
Okay, I got you. I hear you.
no options. But I do think that to me that makes no sense in theory. Like, because you know you only get one chance at a first impression.
That's a fact.
Who said she inviting you back after you score 10?
Yeah,
I'm not inviting your ass back after you score 10. This is the
Why
thing.
not?
You failed the DMV test, you don't get your license.
Oh my gosh, this is not a DMV test.
The hell if it ain't.
This is not a DMV
I'm a
test.
drive.
like this, but he might wind up on the checklist. All right, so does he have a job? Okay,
Right.
okay. Can he cook? No.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Wait. What kind of car he got? Can I talk to him? It just now fits in the checklist. All right, bad dick. That's where he's at.
But see, and
Like-
that's the
like-
thing. But that can be taught. We can work
Can it-
on the
can
sex
it be
part.
taught?
Yeah, we can work on the sex
That's
part.
what's up.
You can always teach a person how to please you.
I hear you.
Oh, that's
long
something
as
you can
You gotta know how to
explore
please
together.
yourself first, though.
Absolutely.
And as long as their ego doesn't get in their own way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now this goes back to the whole sexual ego thing, right? When you have ego and sexual insecurities, right? That part, sometimes your ego doesn't allow yourself to admit your own insecurities, so you can't even improve upon them if
Exactly.
they are improvable. you
Right.
know?
Can men handle that conversation though?
Not all men.
That's a fact. That's
Not
true.
all men, because the pride step in the way.
Yeah.
Pride steps in
Tell
the
me,
way.
please.
I've had I knew this guy who I talked about him before, but he was holding about 9.5, 10 inches worth of penis, and all right, cool. And he didn't quite know how to handle it in the
Right.
bedroom. He didn't know what to do with this big penis that God has blessed
He
him
kept
with.
losing balance.
Oh, you carry around a
he
whole
just-
person.
He
Here's
really
the fire
didn't.
hose.
He didn't know what to do with it, and during intercourse, it was like I'm gonna need you to just stop, just stop. And his thing was, I'd rather get my dick sucked than have sex.
I bet because he's trash in bed.
But
That's
instead
why.
of owning
You already
that,
know.
it was like this big, this big ego thing, this big
Right.
balloon of ego, and that just came out. It was like, this is why I'd rather just get my dick sucked and then play in the pussy.
That's how you said it.
Yeah, and I was just looking at him
So
like,
let me ask you this question: did you tell him he was trash?
no, I didn't even get to
So,
that point.
so you played. So you
No,
set
I
him up
didn't
for
get to that
failure.
point. I didn't set him up for failure.
You did. Here's the thing: he couldn't handle you.
But the thing about it was,
Uh-huh.
when you coming off all egotistical and all prideful like that,
Doesn't-
what am I going to help you for at that point? You know what? You keep
It's not help.
you keep on thinking you know what you're doing,
Right.
and let me get my pocketbook.
Get your
Thank you.
pocketbook. But
And
here's
I'll
the
talk to you
thing:
later.
I gotta leave you this review.
No, I don't have to leave. I don't owe you anything.
You should though.
For what?
Why not?
Mm-mm.
You got him walking around here thinking he's
Let him think that. Somebody will tell him. I didn't care enough to tell him.
Wow.
Well, that's
appreciate
crazy.
that.
I can appreciate you not
That
caring.
is true.
You- I like how you looked at Jarrell.
I
though.
can't
Right,
lie.
That was cool.
That's him.
I
That's
get
him.
it because I mean, like he should know, but he should be told by somebody who cares to help fix it.
Tamika said he knew he was trash from the beginning.
He
That's
did.
why he did all that.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
And like I said, he should know, but by somebody who cares to help him fix it.
Exactly.
If he
I
wasn't
didn't
here ready to
care.
care to help him fix it, now.
Thank you. It was fun. Pass my purse.
That's
you later.
crazy. Set him up for failure.
Ivy said insecurity is self-inflicted burden, right? When you're ready to get open, you let it go, the insecurity. Courtney said, "Do you believe it's easier for a woman to be considered good in bed than it is for a man to be considered good in bed?
Yes.
Or do you believe the pressure to perform is equal?" I think the pressure to perform is equal.
Is it?
I think so.
No, I can't speak for a woman. I think the pressure for a man is higher than before.
I think
Because once the man go,
That's it.
and maybe we're gonna wait a couple minutes. A woman can just continue and keep going and going
But I
and
think
going.
the performance part, because I think the women, we have set in our mind that we have to suck dick like Pinky the porn star.
No, you don't.
We got
She's trash.
Right, but I'm just saying this is what's in our
Not
head
that I've watched Pinky.
because not that you watch it.
if you look at the clip, his comments are at the bottom.
Exactly.
What did I say? Go
Trash. Okay. You said here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you whack.
Trash can emoji.
That ain't pink anymore. You
But
like yellow.
Even for us women, because even me growing up, I don't have the biggest booty. But in my mind, because of what society, what
Right.
stigma is, but I have a big butt, must be able to twerk and flop and all that. Or it formed like a stigma in my mind. It formed like an insecurity, like, dang, maybe I can't ride
Right.
like the chicks ride. I can't do. So it did form an insecurity in the past.
So here's the thing, and to Maisha's comment, you got to learn your partner.
Right.
And at the end of the day, all of that shit you did, or the porn star did, or the porno did, doesn't work for me. I don't need you to suck me off like you're going 45 miles an hour. I don't like that shit.
making
I
all
don't
that
like it.
extra noise.
Relax. What are you doing? It's whack. Like, get off me.
Like you're lying to yourself.
Here's the thing for me, personally, and I've done this. If I'm not enjoying it, and I feel like you're not, I'm stopping.
Right.
I'm not just gonna keep going and all that. I'm stopping.
Right.
So you just gotta learn your partner and ask the question. Just ask the uncomfortable question.
Communication.
How did you like it? Was it good? You gotta be able to take the answer.
And to that point about who has more pressure, I think that. So I think it's just different. I think that to Corey's point, right? You let that first one get away from you. Woo! My bad, babe. You hungry?
Give me
Wanna go
10
make you-
minutes.
Need some
Give me
juice?
10 minutes.
Anybody need some juice?
Right.
Go ahead. Got some fresh water bottles in the back.
Right.
What you
Right.
gonna do? So, but I think for some people, their mindset say about what there should be sexually does come off a porn base, right? That's what built that idea of how they should be.
Right.
So if that's what in your mind where you should be, then you don't want to set an unrealistic expectation, right?
Exactly.
And the same for a man. If this man thinks that he is supposed to be 18 inches long and just walking in, just and honestly he get winded after about a two-step run, okay, bro, you're not there. Yeah, you need to. You better. It's just not gonna happen, right? And I think it's not gonna happen now. And I think that sometimes people have unrealistic expectations, even
Really
sexual.
do.
Like you gotta be real with yourself.
Definitely. Tamika said, Nelly, don't be riding and catch a Charlie horse. Know your strengths, sis. Listen, I stretch before I go, okay?
It's GF Clay's comment. Sometimes you just gotta be brutally honest.
Absolutely.
And that's just what it is.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, I just be practical.
Right.
If we already having sex, how more intimate can you get than that?
Right.
I should be able to have an honest conversation with you about what happened.
But I think it also depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
Are we talking about a jump off, or are we talking about somebody who's actually you're invested in? I think that also plays, and we talked about this in the car, even talking about sex with the light on. Shout out to the old friend, what's happening, honey? Shout out to my brother Jeffrey Birthright in the building. The question, I'm sorry, let me go real quick. Jeffrey said the pressure is on a man because we're supposed to be the dominant one in the bedroom. But just like we were talking about in the car, I guess it depends on the relationship. And does the relationship change how you talk to the person or about the person?
I think we was talking about that, right?
Yeah.
I just found that interesting. I think that just hit me on the drive down here. But then again, I don't really have a lot of conversations around my sexual activity with my boys
but with
or
the
anything.
person though, with the person you're being sexually intimate with.
What about them?
Does the conversation change? If it's just a jump off, i.e. me and the dude that I didn't really care for, so I'm not even going to invest my time in telling him, yo, you're garbage.
Right.
Or somebody I'm actually into and we're actually invested into a relationship.
What kind of conversation you talking about?
Does the conversation change? Like he's talking about being brutally honest.
No, it doesn't change at all. Why would it change? Here's the thing. I'm not going to allow you to walk around here feeling like I had the best time.
Okay, so to that point, right? If you just didn't enjoy the experience, like it was cool, it was alright, it wasn't great. Realistically, again, am I invested enough to want to help you fix it.
Right.
Like, again, the first time might be your last. If I don't care, maybe another nigga like that dick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you feel? I feel like that pussy was cool, but I mean, you can go and not come back.
Exactly.
Good point.
So if and honestly, that conversation may not happen there. It's just going to happen because I didn't respond anymore. Okay, it was
That's
cool.
what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
So,
Absolutely.
which, by the way, to her point, creates sexual insecurity.
Absolutely.
Son,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
it does.
To your point. To your point. I don't want nobody to think I'm out here giving report cards at the first interaction because I'm not.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving report cards. It ain't
Yelp
passive
reviews.
right? But what I'm saying though, if you come back and you ask me the question, if that conversation presents itself, I'm going to be honest.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Right. I hear you. Let me get some of these comments in here real quick. Danita said, "Do you like it? Did you like it? The sexual experience?" Nanetta. Sister, what you talking about? Did you like it? Courtney, she says women call their best friends damn near immediately after the dude leaves and gives the rating and play-by-play. Dudes don't do that. I think for the most part, dudes' expectations of women are lower in the bedroom than women's expectation on men. That's true. We were talking about that in the car. Men don't necessarily talk about that, but we would crawl and be like, girl, let me tell you, he ate it like, oh my gosh.
My
I see
suggestion is y'all
stars.
stop doing that.
Why? Because then the girlfriend's going to want you?
Yeah.
I think it would depend on how tight her team is.
Yeah.
Is it? Here's the thing.
In my mind,
I can tell you that it doesn't matter how tight their team is. I've had females that I've been with, and their friends have had that conversation with me, and I just never say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't give a shit how tight your circle is.
So if you're listening, question your circle.
Here's the thing. I had a girl tell me one time, you can find a best friend anywhere, or another best friend. Let me say that. You can find another best friend, but you can't always find a good man. I said, wow. Okay, well, moving to the left.
There it goes. But it does happen though, and
I'm
she's
sure.
definitely right.
I'm sure.
Women, we talk about every single detail. And like you said, the ratings. Maisha says, how you deliver it is important. Jacinta
Definitely.
says, I disagree. Dudes are quick to say she was trash in bed. I think the pressure is equal.
Could be.
Shout out to Sherry Price. Thank you for tuning in, love.
Plus, who are they saying she's trash to? Are they
Their
saying it
boys.
to? Right, but are they having that
Wow.
conversation with her? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then why?
Why are you having that
Don't
conversation?
get me wrong, although to be honest,
It happened.
have I heard that conversation
It
before?
happened.
I've heard it.
I've never
heard
delivered it, though.
I've never delivered it
Right.
either. But I have heard it, and I'm like,
Yo, men talk a lot more than women do.
Men talk
Some
a
of
lot
them.
more than to sometimes
Some
to
of them.
jump out there before she gets to you.
yeah.
Yo, she was trash, yo. You was trash.
Right.
You was trash.
We saw your Yelp review, sir.
Right.
You was garbage.
Right.
Deidre said, what other things can make you more confident? Trips to the sex store, watching porn, or does practice make it perfect?
I think communication makes it perfect.
Facts.
I think practice makes it perfect.
Maybe
Yeah, but if you
Communication
practicing the
and
wrong
right.
thing,
Communication.
You're shooting
and
in the wrong
practice.
basket.
No, communication.
Okay.
and
Oh, okay,
practice.
so you combined them. I
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
so to my knowledge, here's the trainer in me coming out.
There you go.
Okay, here's the thing.
Let's go.
What you got to do is first you got to do your research. Okay, that can come through the communication.
Right.
Right. Then you do the practice where it's the practical. You got to get it out, do the real version. Okay,
Right.
see
Right.
how it worked.
Right.
Figure it out. Get
Figure
some stats on yourself. Okay, how was this? How was that? Right. Then guess what? Go at it again, right? Because we want to know if we've improved on our work.
Right.
Hopefully you stay hydrated in between. Okay, maybe get a little bit of time, get some sleep in,
Some
maybe a
Gatorade.
sandwich. You
Right.
know, right? Get your protein up. That's important. Electrolytes. Then, okay.
Right.
Whereas I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. You take the communication and then you actually put it into practice, and then you
Absolutely.
communicate some more.
Right.
I think that some people take themselves too seriously, and in
Hell
that
yeah.
case, they can't be open to the communication,
Right.
right? So if you can't laugh at yourself,
Right.
then you're going to be in a bad space when it comes to that. You should be able to communicate with your partner where they're like, all right, I need you to do this a little bit more. Can you do that? Hey,
I think
you
people-
knew you did that. That was great.
Let me add to that. I think people have lost the essence of sex, like you said earlier about the fun, but also the communication during sex.
Yeah.
It is okay to talk during sex.
Yeah.
It's not always just about oh, yes, daddy. No, shut up and talk. Like it's okay. I think one of the best sexual experiences I've had.
Yo,
was
I
with
don't
one of
have
my-
a grade book. Sorry, Nelly. They
I
try to
didn't say
play
that.
me.
Who said that? Oh, it's like
Don't you know we're computerized? He doesn't need a book.
it's all on the website. No, but I think one of the best sexual experiences I had was with one of my exes. Shout out to him. Rest in peace.
Damn. First of all, let's clear that up. One of the best sexual experiences I've had. You killed him, son?
No, I didn't kill him.
He killed the pussy. It was her rest. It was rest in peace to the pussy.
That's a fact.
He killed the shit.
Did pussy kill him?
Listen, no.
R.I.P.
This was back in college. Unfortunately, he passed away as an adult. This was back in college. He passed away.
Move over.
Wrong business. You know?
Okay.
But anyway, no. So we talked and we laughed and joked through the whole sexual experience. That was the first time I've ever done that.
Right.
Where I laughed so much that my stomach was hurting during the experience, and not because we were communicating. He was very comical. He was always just like cracking jokes. His sense of humor was ridiculous. But we talked about everything and we communicated. It was like one of the best experiences I had, and I wasn't even drunk back then.
Right.
So I thought that was so phenomenal. So as an adult now, I agree with what you're saying. You have to be able to communicate during sex. It's okay to talk. Shut up with your moaning and groaning and being all extra, especially if you don't really feel that good.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about it. Babe, I don't like it like that because we're cyclical. People,
Absolutely.
we are cyclical. We go in cycles. So today you might like it from the back. Tomorrow you might not, but he's not going to know if you don't tell him.
Tell me. Right.
And
Or
now
tell
you're in the
her.
bedroom thinking like, okay, now he doesn't really want to be with me and you're having all these thoughts because we get in our heads, especially as females. We really do.
Absolutely.
So that's the point I want to make.
Damn, son.
And I took my kill. JF Clay says, actually, we're supposed to come copulate in the late, about 5 a.m. Most men receive an erection without thought.
That's a fact.
Wake up with it.
Yeah.
That's because your body is doing it naturally.
Yeah. Picture
All right.
It's a muscle. So if the muscle isn't used, right. So your body naturally flows
in the morning.
Blood, right.
That's a fact.
So Danetta said that was funny when he said that. Danita said never do that. Tamika said I've talked to some male friends who's told me someone they had sex with was trash. So guys do talk.
Oh, we definitely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I just
agree.
never initiate the conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
You guys don't. I've had a couple of reviews of my friends.
Yeah,
Some guys.
Well, I think some men talk because some like to brag about it. Some like to lie and cover up their own insecurities,
Yes.
and But I mean, some men just like to engage in that conversation. That's just how they move.
Make their head big.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Do you have any sexual insecurities in the bedroom?
I used to.
Oh, snap. 45 pounds ago, B.
45 pounds ago, facts.
That's what's up.
No, what I can say though, honestly, I remember in college, I was very insecure about my arms.
Mm-hmm.
I would be completely naked, but I would always wear a button-up shirt and keep my button-up shirt like this. I know, call me crazy, but I did. And just because I was insecure about how big my arms were, isn't that crazy?
No,
I
mean,
would never forget that.
the
I was
shirt,
very insecure.
a button-up shirt,
Yeah,
and you
like
had
a
it
button-up.
tied every time.
I just tucked it back.
Yeah?
Everything else was exposed. My arms
Understood.
were covered.
Gotcha.
It was terrible. But as I got older, that got less and less. I began to just not care. But after the 45 pounds fell, it was
over.
curtain.
No shirt.
What?
Get
no
out of
shirt,
here.
no nada.
No cape.
Listen.
Right. Right. Just flying around.
Right.
When we done, I'm like, you want a sandwich? I'll be back, and I'm hopping through the house like.
That's what's up.
Just
though.
skipping and shit.
Right.
So yes,
Yeah.
you're no longer.
G.
No, I don't. I don't. No, I'm trying to think if I ever really did. Probably not. So because I think I always cared about that. So I think I always cared enough that I communicated enough prior to. So I always was like, okay, what's about to happen? And now, I got 2 kids in the whole family. So guess what? I shouldn't be. I don't feel like there's anything that we're gonna do. Have another one?
Right.
Okay. I'm more insecure about that.
Exactly.
But I'm not worried.
Exactly.
So, but I don't think that I'm ever. No, I don't. Well, what about you?
I think performance anxiety, though. I think that I always want to perform to a certain level, always, regardless of what I'm doing.
Right.
So, I mean, if there's an insecurity, is that I just want to make sure that my last performance was my best one, right? So, I think if that's an insecurity, then that's what it is. I don't really have a body insecurity or nothing like that. And honestly, if I find that you have one, my main goal is to strip you of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's it. Just performance anxiety and making sure that you have the.
When you say strip her of that, so
help her to feel secure.
Right.
I say it different.
I kind of want to say that. Well, in my mind, I can only help you. Not only, but I want to help you feel more secure with that, with me, right? if I can help you feel more secure with that in general, that's the bigger purpose. But sometimes I can't, you might not be able to fix a person that way. Right. So, because whatever they're insecure about might be a bigger picture issue.
Yeah.
But like you said, with you for the moment, then, for the time you have together, then absolutely. Because let me tell you, and I have to share this because real quick, with the insecurities, so like I said earlier, I don't have the biggest butt, and dealing with growing up with two brothers being teased all the time about not having a big butt. Shout out to Jeffrey, who's on the feed.
Jeff.
He's always teasing me about not having a big butt. It did form a complex in my mind. So even when it came to the bed, it was like hitting from the back was never my favorite. Riding was never really my favorite because I didn't feel like I was able to make it bounce and all of that. I didn't know how that all works. Now as an adult, though, I got this in the bag. But my current boo, shout out to you, baby. He values my butt as if it was Beyonce.
Absolutely.
And even to today, I mean, this is before he even knew, like, that was an insecurity of mine. And even to today, I'm just like, it ain't. But I noticed I had to stop saying, like, it ain't that big and like what, because I know that's now going to turn him off. If that's what he's attracted to with me, it's like, okay, fine, I have to let it be. But it does make me feel better. Like, okay, you like something that I'm not really.
Yeah, let me enjoy your body.
Right.
And here's the thing: if I'm into the point where we're already having sex and we're laying down, I've already appreciated your body.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
So I think that's the thing for me. And who said that you needed to twerk and do all of that radical shit on my dick? Anyway.
Media, society,
but see,
your brothers, but Jeffrey.
Tragic. But I think that and that's where I go back to fun. All right, cool. If in your mind you supposed to be twerking and dropping it like it's hot because that's what you're supposed to do for me, then if it don't go well, we should both be able to laugh our asses off at how the fuck you was trying to twerk and still tripped over your left leg. And now
can we laugh after though?
No, because when you fall, I'm still trying to get mine right now, baby. It's okay, baby. I got you. I'm gonna make you feel better. We're gonna laugh it out and do our thing.
I'm not talking about it after.
That part,
I like that. I'd rather we talk about it in the moment. Yeah,
right before you moving in, right? You know what I mean? If that's the circumstance, you got to be comfortable with yourself and comfortable with your partner. You can't be
comfortable with the conversation. I'm not trying to laugh after.
If she fall twerking, nigga, you gonna laugh.
She's twerking.
She's trying to.
She's
That's
twerking
it.
on me.
Either or, you gotta make it okay. Right? Like it's okay, babe. And then you going back in, keep it moving. Like you can't make it heavy. Like that's the point. You can't make it heavy in the moment.
Exactly. No, I agree. Hold on. Tamika says communication.
I think your brother just came at you.
That's all right, Jeffrey. It depends on what kind of man it is. If he does a great deal of talking. Tamika said, I've talked to some. I read that. Tamika said, well, definitely had a great book. Oh,
I got a great book.
Look and see, you had a great book.
I don't.
Tamika said, communication is so real. Sometimes nonverbal communication makes the experience on even better. Yes, nonverbal is very important too. We talk about that in the bedroom too. Nonverbal is very important in the bedroom. I've had in the past one of my exes, and he was just so quiet, and that drove me crazy.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Can you moan? Can you groan? Can you say ooh ah? Can you blink? I mean,
no,
nothing.
Study him.
Is that what that is?
Here's the thing. I think that I'm just not a. Here's the thing.
Oh no.
Some men just don't.
You gonna laugh, but you gonna study during sex? How you not gonna laugh, but you studying? Like, you should be able to laugh during a study session.
Can I?
Right. I mean, something's gonna be funny.
I think some men just don't moan all the time, right? So just because I'm quiet, but some females may be like that. But I'm just paying attention to your body, though.
Can you give me a
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say that.
I mean, something. You just quiet.
Just look at my face.
Lord have mercy. I gotta look at your face. Shout out to Amber Drayton. What's happening?
Cold piece of work over there.
Facts. Say it.
Y'all over here having a comedy hour during sex.
Oh, but she want you to Harlem shake a little bit. Show that you got it.
Right.
Show me that you care. Like
some response. Give me some reaction. Let me know you're enjoying this a little bit.
That's the thing.
That's why I say you can at least blink.
All right, I got you. I'll blink.
Dang.
Are you enjoying this one blink for yes?
What if I don't blink?
There's something wrong.
Now I gotta check your Paul stories. Is she alive? This is gonna be so hard to explain.
Just look at the face, man. Pay attention. Relax.
Oh my God.
Y'all overdoing handstands and shit.
I can't. All right, y'all. We got 3 minutes. Let's give the people some advice. dealing with insecurities in the bedroom. Give us some advice on what can we tell the people, what can the people take away from tonight's show on how to deal with insecurity and intimacy in the bedroom.
I would say, communicate. That's the biggest thing, right? Communicate with your partner so you understand each other, so you know what's going to happen and you know what you're okay with, know what your boundaries are, know kind of what your partner is okay with, so you can kind of ease them in to find that level and have fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself and your partner, so y'all can grow.
Right.
Nelly,
Corey, go ahead, Corey.
Me?
Pull myself up. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I think communication, to Jerome's point. Number one, knowing what you like is a big deal, right? Understanding yourself. And don't be afraid to communicate and pay attention to nonverbal communication.
Mm-hmm.
The things that she does during sex is just as important as the things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
All of it, but pay attention to all of it. And talk to her. Let her know that the things that she feels that is bottling her up, you love it.
Right.
So I think
even if you don't love it,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
oh, okay.
No.
Don't
As
lie.
long as you care enough to be around to help fix it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Right. I agree with both of them said, definitely. And I disagree with the both of y'all. Y'all said it all.
Nice.
I like
we
it.
passed.
Y'all did.
That's good.
That
You got a
passed.
girl that didn't have nothing to say. That's what's up.
Because I agree with both y'all 100%.
That's what's
And
up.
have fun, really. Just enjoy it. Sex is fun. Sex is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I love it. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we're going to roll out. It is 10 o'clock. We got to pay some bills. Thank you guys for tuning in. Meet us here next week. Same time, same place, right here on AO. And remember, whatever you do, stay open.
I'll take it easy.
Yes, yeah.
Ayo.
Come back here, baby. Too quiet people have sex.
It ain't no quiet going